Brian from quantlabs.net here. Just wanted to give you a more additional information about webinars that I'm finding on the MathWorks site for Matlab. An important one I'm finding is going to really change my fundamentals and how I develop and come up with various more advanced, complicated models. This webinar you're looking at right now that I've got highlighted is Symbolic Math Toolbox to Develop and Analyze Financial Models. Didn't realize, but there's a new surprise I learn about Matlab every day, and this one's one of those critical ones. Otherwise, I wouldn't be making a video of this. But nonetheless, I didn't know there was a difference between symbolic math and I guess numerical analytical math, or however you want to term it. I was never formally educated in this area or had any advanced training in it, so I'm kind of doing it self-taught. But this symbolic math editor that's available in Matlab just totally blows my mind, because all along, if I look at a research paper, I was not able to figure out how to visually represent that and put it into some kind of computational programming language, obviously like Matlab or C, whatever it is. But now through this editor, what I'm about to show you changes that. So if you watch this webinar for 36 minutes, you'll be able to visually represent your algorithm quite nicely from a symbolical math point of view. So with this command MuPAD in Matlab, you can now visually do it and just click on a button, something like this, where you get a differentiation for a derivative. You can now do fairly advanced algorithms and equations that you would no different see in advanced research papers coming from, let's say, PhDs, and be able to figure out how to represent them and then be able to do the equivalent of coding them up into a MATLAB scripting language. Do realize that MuPAD is a language in itself, and it's somewhat separate from MATLAB, the M scripting language within MATLAB. So these are two different things, but with MATLAB you can easily integrate the two into a MATLAB M scripting language or script, and that webinar will show you how to do that. But also I thought MuPAD was something that might have been proprietary within MATLAB, and I did a little research and found out that there's this open source project on SourceForge called MuPAD, Combinat, or whatever, that there is this open source language out there that is available. I had never heard of. You know, I know LaTeX and all that stuff, but this is somewhat embedded into the MATLAB symbolic toolbox. So in essence, this is important because now I can find ways to, you know, symbolically represent something and then be able to represent that back into my code in MATLAB, and then take those equations and apply them into the real world through the bridges that I've worked out with this open source trading platform that I'm using. So in essence, all the pieces are now together, even if I start looking at advanced research papers. So this little webinar seems to have changed that and has answered a lot of my questions. And you know, playing with MATLAB itself, if you're fairly new at math, you can now use tools like this from within MATLAB to get you up to speed on mathematical terms, I guess. The thing is, obviously for the last week or so I've been hammering away at MATLAB, but I'm still interested in R. But if anyone in the R world or academic at whatever level knows that this kind of capability is out there within MATLAB or within R, I'd like to know about it. And if somebody could just educate me on that, I'd be very interested to find out, and obviously help out my set of users and community as well. Because it's not a MATLAB versus R type of forum or whatnot. This is just right now what I'm seeing is only available in MATLAB, but on the other hand, I am very curious to see if this sort of thing does exist in R. So if you could let me know, that'd be great. Until later, until I speak to you next time, this is one of those critical webinars I think you should watch if you're a newbie to the world of math, finance, and just trying to bring it all together. Just again, MATLAB blows my mind with things like this. Until then, I'll talk to you soon.